What's up, Buttercups? It's me, Amy Young. I'm coming at you with a Friday freestyle to respond to a request that I received to chat about worry, specifically about letting go of worry, quitting a habit of worry, how the fuck to stop worrying all the time because shit is constantly hitting the fan and life is unpredictable and crazy. So how can we not worry? Big questions, right? Like, how the fuck do you stop worrying all the time? Are you a worrier? Let's start there. Are you a worrier? Do you worry about things? Do you predict the future very poorly? That's what I often say a habit of worry is. A habit of worry is just believing that you can predict the future, but you're the kind of future predictor. You're like a fortune teller who only delivers bad news. That's what that voice in your head does. Worry is just a habit of imagining outcomes that you don't want, right? Like, my relationship is gonna fail. I'm never gonna be happy. I'm never gonna be successful. I'm never gonna lose this weight. What if everybody hates me? What if this person doesn't say yes when I ask them out on a date? What if my parents get divorced? What if my parents die? My parents are definitely gonna die. What's gonna happen when they die? Like, worry is just imagining everything that you don't want and everything that could go badly and everything that feels scary and terrible. It's just a habit of doing that. And we really do live in a society that I believe promotes this level of like fear and anxiety and this desire to like control and know what's going to happen all the time because we want to give ourselves some level of like safety or security or control. And worry kind of does that. Like when I started breaking up with worry, when I started being like, worry, it's been real, but I don't think I can hang with you anymore. There was a part of me that literally thought, is everything going to fall apart if I stop worrying? Like there was a part of me that was like, my worry is very healthy and productive. I have to worry about stuff because if I don't, won't bad things happen? And I hear this a lot from my clients when they are breaking up with worry, when they are setting boundaries with themselves and their little worry gremlins. There's this feeling of like fear and stress. Excuse me, I don't know if you could just hear that alert from the other room. But there's this feeling of fear and stress over if I stop worrying, bad things will happen. And first of all, I can tell you with complete assurance, I've never seen that be the case. I've never seen anything bad happen to anybody who broke up with worry or let go of worry or just took a break from it. Like who just said, maybe this week I just will allow myself not to worry. Because that's kind of what a vacation is. Like when we actually go to a new place, sometimes we give ourselves permission to put down our worries for a little bit. Like we leave them, you know, in the airport terminal when we're getting on the plane. And then we land in whatever our vacation destination is and we go, oh my God, look, I left all my worries back home with me. This is so fun. And I'm essentially saying like, you could just leave your worries anywhere you want to and not carry them with you all the time. But, and I'm gonna give you a tip for doing that. But the first step really is to challenge that fear or that anxiety that everything's gonna fall apart, bad stuff is gonna happen, worry is necessary. If I don't worry, I'm unproductive. If I don't worry, I'm not safe. None of that is true. It's all just phony baloney. I've never seen anything bad happen. I'm just like not. Because worry is really, it just requires so much like energy and attention. It's such like a life suck, a life force suck, that actually what typically happens once we let go of it is we go, whoa, I have so much more like freedom and creativity and energy and curiosity to explore other possibilities. Because that's what worry inhibits in us, is an ability to explore other possibilities. The only possibility that worry will suggest or project is a bad one. A negative possibility, a crappy outcome. Nobody likes you. They're out to get you. You're gonna get fired. You're gonna get in trouble. Worry never ever is like, or maybe none of that will happen. That's a different voice. That's a different thought pattern. That's a very different kind of fortune teller, isn't it? A little part of you that perks up and goes, well, maybe all of that won't happen. Maybe everyone isn't mad at you. Maybe you're not going to get in trouble. Maybe you won't get fired. Maybe everything is actually working out okay. This is a part of ourselves that we don't tend to listen to very often. If we even have that part of us at all. I really do believe that everybody has the capacity to like channel that sense of like calm, grounded, inner knowing, a projector of positive possibility in the world. I really believe that we all have that. Most of us have like stomped it out with worry for so often that we feel like, well, no, I don't even know how to do that. Like, I literally don't know how to imagine anything's gonna go well ever. And I'm like, well, give yourself permission to and see how it goes. And that really is the primary tip that I'm gonna suggest to you. Once you've challenged the fear that everything's gonna fall to shit if you let go of worry, not true, lies. Give yourself permission to explore other possibilities. And this is just as simple as interrupting yourself in the moment when you're in a pattern of worry, when you're going, it'll happen, guys, it'll happen. It's probably happening right now. Like, invite worry up. Invite it to do its thing. Be like, okay, worry, do your worst and see what comes to mind. Oh, what if you don't have enough money in your bank account? What if you die alone? What if nobody likes you? What if you make a huge mistake that you can never recover from? And then we interrupt it. We go, oh, worry, I see you, motherfucker. Not today, Satan. We just call it out ever so gently and lovingly. We go, worry, thank you for that perspective. I'd like to consider a different possibility. When people talk about positive thinking, this is all they're talking about. I hate that positive thinking shit, by the way. Like all of those damn memes on the internet that's like, inhale positivity, exhale negativity. I wanna poke people in the eyes when I see those. But this is what they are talking about. Just nobody unpacks it to this level. That's not what I see most of the time. Everybody's just like, just be positive. We need to unpack this shit and get down to it on like a weird, fundamental level if we want to actually be able to implement it. And this is how you do it, is you interrupt the worry flow. You interrupt that train of thought, those negative projections into the future, which are not real, by the way. It's just your imagination moving in a bad direction. And you go, wait, there's this whole other world of possibility over here where shit does not hit the fan, where I don't suck forever, where people really do like and love me, and the things that I want to have happen in my life can happen, and I have the power to create change, and it's not so bad after all, and it'll all work out. That's an avenue that you can walk down in your mind if you let yourself. The words will feel foreign in your mouth at first. These thoughts will feel forced and weird and strange when you first begin to think them. That was my experience. I was like, whose fucking voice is this in my head? This feels very forced and weird. But it's because you're literally carving out new grooves in your brain, neural pathways that thoughts will travel down and land in new directions. And this is the good work. This is the necessary work. This is what changes lives and moves mountains and creates possibility and change, is when we do start to think differently. We start to believe new possibilities. We start to envision a different future. We start to align ourselves with that vision, and then we can take action. And then we can change behavior. And it's a lot easier when you're not getting in your way all the time with the fucking worry gremlins crawling up your ass and populating your entire being. How's that for an image? So, to recap, if you want to break up with worry, if you're ready to let that shit go, if you want to go to divorce court with your worries, you first have to challenge the assumptions and fears and anxiety that you have about letting go of worry. Like, you really have to go, maybe just as an experiment, I can practice letting go of worry and just see if everything goes terribly. Maybe it won't be so bad. Maybe worry is actually unproductive and I don't need to do it. Consider those possibilities. And the next step is to become like a little worry observer and researcher in your life and notice, when does it pop up? For me, first thing in the morning, I would wake up in a pit of worry. I would go to sleep in a pit of worry. Lunchtime, I was worrying. Dinner time, I was worrying. It was like that old Pizza Bagels commercial. Or bagel, isn't that what it's called? Like pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time. When pizza's on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime. Replace pizza with worries, and that was like my motto. And it actually did not take as much time as I thought it would to make the shift away from worry towards just a different possibility. towards just imagining, well, what if all that stuff that I'm telling myself and believing and fearing, what if that wasn't necessarily the automatic truth? What if I stopped telling myself that scary, scary story and I started just telling myself a story where I was not fucked for all of eternity? What happens? Life gets so much better. Things get so much easier. We're not troubling ourselves all the time. We're not bothering ourselves all the time. We're not picking on ourselves. We're not walking around stressing and fretting and having anxiety attacks about stuff that we can't control. The best thing that we can do is be our own friends and a source of support to ourselves in this crazy whacktastic ride. Whacktastic. Yeah, that's a good word to describe it. So if you employ these 2 tips, if you challenge your fears and assumptions, you can let go of worry. You will. It will take time. Arguably, maybe it's not as much time as you think, but this is the most worthy practice I can think of in one's life. How do I stop letting my worry gremlins crawl up my butt and take over my life and my body and stress me out all the time? It's like a really, really good practice. So take it and run with it, have fun with it. I love when things rhyme unexpectedly. If you'd like to keep up with me on the regs, you know what you can do. You can either hit subscribe, see this mug a little more often. You can also get on my email list. The link is in the description box. Go to amyyoungcoaching.com. I would love to keep up with you that way. Otherwise, I just hope you're having a great day, night, weekend, wherever you are. And until next time, mad love.